Catching up with some of the folks that we'll see running winged super modified races this year. In case you missed it, ISMA and MSS have merged for the 2023 season. It's a very aggressive schedule. Make sure to check out both the websites online, and we're having this one aired here on both the channels. One of the guys that I'm chatting with right now, I got to meet him last year at Oswego Speedway. It was a Fast Friday practice, and learned a lot about these winged supers at this event right here. Mike McVetta is out of Medina, Ohio, and he literally is an engineer, works for NASA, does some amazing stuff with them. He has not won a race the last year, but he did get on the podium at both Lorraine and Oswego. He is a former champion of the series in 2018 as a driver, and then in 2019 he won a championship with MSS. That was the first 2 years of the series. So let's head out to Ohio and talk with the driver of the Ketchup and Mustard Special, Mike McVetta. How we doing, man?
Doing good, Doug. How you doing?
Doing very well. I haven't seen you in a while. How are things looking right now? I mean, you ready for a full season of action?
Yeah, we're actually really close. I've got to take some body panels over to Gary's Body Shop to get some ketchup and mustard sprayed on them, and then we're ready for final assembly.
Nice. I know we covered this at the time, but for somebody who might have missed it, why is it the Ketchup and Mustard Special?
That goes back to a sprint car I built in 2012, and I was racing with Danny Shirey, who actually drove for me for a few years, and we built a bad sprint car, and it just won and won and won. And, one Monday morning, he got on Facebook and said, man, this got beat up again by the Ketchup and Mustard Special, and it kind of stuck.
So you liked the way that sounded and said, yeah, let's just call it that, right?
Let's go with it.
I like it. And the little ketchup and mustard bottles, they're like the ones you'd see in a restaurant, but they have the fins on them, so that takes care of what he does. So what exactly do you do for a living?
Yeah, I can't talk about that, Doug. No,
I wondered.
So in Cleveland at NASA, we have several large wind tunnel, supersonic, hypersonic, as well as some space simulation facilities. So I manage the folks that manage those facilities.
Okay. Is it similar to kind of what the stuff we saw on Hidden Figures a little bit, maybe?
Could be. We got just a wide variety of different aeronautical and space testing facilities.
Mm-hmm. Mechanical or electrical engineering degree then?
I'm a mechanical guy.
Okay, all right. Is there one that's more in demand right now? Because I talk to different people and I hear different things. What do you think from what you're seeing?
I think they're both in pretty high demand right now. That engineers are good and bad people. I mean, we're good at economizing, and of course that always generally means taking people out of the process and automating. So, good and bad, right?
Still need the math background, though, don't you?
You got it.
Yeah, if you don't have that, you might want to consider something else. So as we look back, how was last year? How was it for you?
It was a bit of a roller coaster for us. We started out really strong at Oswego and kind of hit a mid-season slump with some parts failures that probably negated some good finishes, and kind of got it back working again towards the end of the season, and got running pretty decent and had a really good run at Classic until some mechanical gremlins caught up with us.
Now, are these parts failures or stuff like that? Or
yeah, they were parts failures.
Why is it always the new parts that seem to fail, right?
That's a great question.
Because I heard that from so many. We got a brand new part. It made it 2 weeks, and then it went. So as you look at how things have been going in the winged super modified world, the ISMA MSS merger, thoughts?
I think it's good. It's certainly a short-term fix to boost car count, right? I mean, we're drawing from really 3 different groups now with the way the schedule's worked out with nobody on top of anybody. So that's good. I think we got some work to do for long-term growth and getting some new teams in, but we did what we had to do to keep things rolling.
Well, when you do have situations, and I've been a part of dirt and other things where series have competed against each other, anytime you unify, people aren't going to buy cars if there's only X amount of races and there's only X amount of competitors. I would think bigger car counts and more races would lead to that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I certainly think so. I think a lot of what John Nicotra is doing, getting some really good money, good paying shows, both with the wing and without the wing, will really help that. and get some new blood to see that, there is some money in super modified.
Are you going to run any of those non-winged shows? Because most of the people I talk about, they tend to run wing only.
Yeah, so we've always been the strange bird. We came out 2 years ago and ran, I think, 2 or 3 regular shows at Oswego, and the Classic. And then last year we came out and ran the Classic. So, as far as I'm concerned, the car doesn't know where the wing is.
Mm-hmm.
So we just adjust accordingly. So.
Do you need a wing-specific car?
I don't think so. We ran awful well at the Classic last year with a quote-unquote wing car, and Tyler Thompson won IRP with a Hawk a couple of years ago. So I think it's more of getting the right setup on your car, and the more you do it, the better you're going to be at it, and that's really where the advantage is.
Yeah, because I'm talking to a lot of people, and most of them I've talked to are not going to run the 2 wingless shows. Without getting too specific, what basically we do setup and weight-wise maybe to take that winged car, take the wing off, and make it competitive? And tell me what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I'll give you the whole setup change.
All right. Write this down, guys.
Yeah. We got 4 bolts that hold the top wing on. We take that off, put the 4 bolts that hold the Oswego wing on, change 4 springs, and adjust 4 shocks, and go racing.
That's all?
That's it.
All
That's all we did.
So percentages, cross weight, things like that, none of that needs to change?
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close. Okay. So is it more of a preference thing? Some guys just like racing without the wings, and some guys prefer racing with the wing? Is it that simple?
I think it could be. I know, back in days gone by with the old tail sections, horsepower really didn't help you much at Oswego.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that anymore with the new wing package.
Yeah.
I think you can use all the horsepower you can get. I think that was a big difference then, and I think that's kind of gone away. Other than that, I think a lot of it has to do with travel. I know a lot of guys in the New York area don't like to travel, so they like to stay home there at Oswego.
Well, with fuel, with what it was last year, I think a lot of people might have stayed home a little more than what they planned, right?
Yeah, 100%. It wasn't easy trucking down the road at $5 a gallon.
Yeah, sometimes closer to $6, depending on where you were, and diesel too. So, because I remember seeing pictures of the Supers like 10, 20 years ago. They are a different animal today, are they not?
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly Vic Miller's a great example. The design of that car is not anywhere near new, but man, that thing still goes around the racetrack pretty good. So I think they can be adapted. You don't have to have the newest, greatest car. I think you can adapt the old stuff. It just takes some time, takes a lot of experience.
I also noticed, too, because I'm a dirt guy, and, of course, NASCAR, all the cars are basically the same. The motor's different. When you look at dirt sprints and that kind of stuff, they're all pretty much the same. Is the creativity and the fact that they're all not the same part of the attraction of this type of racing for you?
It certainly is for me. I mean, I kind of got thrown out of the sprint car world because I was too creative. So,
oh, really?
It's really kind of, yeah.
So are there any specific, I know you have the cantilever suspension on your car. Are there some things you're doing different? And again, tell me what you're comfortable saying.
On the Super, I don't know. I'm sure there's things that I'm doing differently. I know there's things I'm doing differently, but it's not light years different. It's more of a gain on several little things.
Okay. And again, make sure to check out his car. The season's going to be starting soon, guys. And again, that 5-race Oswego series is going to be extremely popular. They announced the final race. Have you been to Evans Mills before?
No, never been to it. Never even seen a picture of it. So,
okay.
Looking forward to it. I like the little bull rings. I'm kind of weird. I like the little bull rings and the big wide open track.
And nothing in between.
Are my favorite. Yeah, the in between stuff, it's okay, but
okay.
Either extreme is great to me.
Make sure to check out both the websites. The schedules are there. We're going to be putting up videos about one a week here for a little while, so make sure to look for those. Mike, I really want to thank you for your time. I know you're extremely busy, so I appreciate you getting back to me, and thank you so much for your time tonight, man.
Glad to help you out, Doug. Glad to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Look forward to a great season.
I want to thank our friends at Bicknell Troyer in Swift Springs. Of course, hit the like button, hit the blue E down there, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that cool stuff. And we'll be seeing Mike here pretty soon. You take care of yourself, Mike. Enjoy your night.
All right. Thank you, sir.